Good morning, guys. I hope you're all doing well today. So, back in about 2010, so about 13 years ago from this point, I read a letter from purportedly extraterrestrials. And I've got it here now. I figured it was a good time to read it again, now with the backdrop of education and patience under my belt. Education is key. Patience is key. When you see everything bear itself out. And then I'll give a little bit of commentary while I'm reading it as well. So let's go ahead and start right off here. This is apparently a letter that was sent to humanity back in 2002. It was October, I believe. Explaining the path that we were on and how we needed to make a decision as to whether or not we wanted otherworldly beings, aliens, extraterrestrials, to show themselves or not. I think we see the fruit of that bearing itself right now. So it starts as such. Whoever transmitted this translated message to you is irrelevant and should remain anonymous in your mind. It is what you will do with this message which matters. See, that's critical. It's the same mentality as what is behind QAnon, as well as the anonymous movement. You cannot burn a false idol upon a funeral pyre if the individual cannot be specifically targeted. But at the same time, it can be rather dangerous in that the specific individual cannot be targeted. You can't find him. Each one of you wishes to exercise his or her free will and experience happiness. These are attributes that were shown to us and to which we now have access. Your free will depends upon the knowledge you have of your own power. Your happiness depends on the love that you give and receive. I've talked about that at length for many years now, about how love is the meaning of life. It's everything. Like all conscious races at this stage of progress, you may feel isolated on your planet. This impression makes you sure of your destiny. Yet you are at the brink of big upheavals that only a minority is aware of. I don't need to say anything else. You guys can see what's going on right now. It is not our responsibility to modify your future without you choosing it. Consider this message as a worldwide referendum, and your answer as a ballot. With the expanse of time, having 20 years to have absorbed this, I think we now can make a decision. Who are we? Neither your scientists nor your religious representatives speak unanimously about the unexplained celestial events that mankind has witnessed for thousands of years. To know the truth, one must face it without the filter of one's beliefs, however respectable they may be. A growing number of anonymous researchers of yours are exploring new knowledge paths and are getting very close to reality. Today, your civilization is flooded with an ocean of information of which only a tiny part, the less upsetting one, is notably diffused. I've been talking about that ad nauseum for years now, about how the signal in the noise, the pattern in the noise, is very difficult to discern. But I tell you here and now that the only pattern that matters is love. As cheesy as that may sound and feel to some of you, it's true. Where was I? What in your history seemed ridiculous or improbable has often become possible, then realized, in particular in the last 50 years. Be aware that the future will be even more surprising. You will discover the worst as well as the best. We went from living in caves for 200,000 years to landing on the moon in the last 50. I think the point's made. And we just cracked the code of fusion. Literally last year. No, it was earlier this year. Things are getting big. Like billions others in this galaxy, we are conscious creatures that some name extraterrestrials, even though reality is subtler. And what that means is basically what I've been talking about. How Jesus, God, angels, demons are interdimensional. They're time travelers. When you look up in the sky, you're actually looking back in time. When you look at the stars in the sky, there is no star in the sky aside from the one that we orbit that is closer than 8 light minutes away. The next closest one is 4.2 light years away. It takes 4.2 years for light to get to us, all right, from that star. You're looking back in time when you look up in the sky. They're all time travelers. Every one of them. To travel through space is to travel through time. And I had my request granted to me. It just took 20 years for me to get the knowledge and understanding to really absorb it. And I don't think I'm an idiot. Anyways. Like billions others in this galaxy, we are conscious creatures that some... I already stated that one, sorry. There is no fundamental difference between you and us, save for the existence of certain stages of evolution. Like in any other organized structure, hierarchy exists in our internal relationships. Ours is based upon the wisdom of several races. It is with the approval of this hierarchy that we turn to you. Like most of you, we are in the quest of the Supreme Being. Therefore, we are not gods or lesser gods, but virtually your equals in the cosmic brotherhood. Physically, we are somewhat different from you, but for most of us, humanoid-shaped. Our existence is a reality, but the majority of you does not perceive it yet. We are not mere observations. We are consciences, just like you. You fail to apprehend us because we remain invisible to your senses and measure instruments most of the time. We wish to fill this void at this moment in your history. We made this collective decision, but this is not enough. We need yours. Through this message, you become the decision makers. You personally. We have no human representative on Earth who could guide your decision. Alright, that's what I'll leave, where I'll leave it today. Okay, I will go into the next section tomorrow, which is why aren't we visible? Like I said, over the course of time, with the improvement of education and patience, you can revisit something like this with a better interpretation of it. So I love you all. Maybe now you know why I always say that. Peace.